Back on the Owls Baseball Network, Garrett Christopher, Todd Elwood, Kendall McGowan due up in the second inning for Forest City. Here at the Lexington County Baseball Stadium, the Owls sporting a 3-0 lead as we go to the second inning with Christopher leading off first. For the Owls in the second, Christopher involved in all three defensive plays on the bottom side of the first inning. The Owls putting out all three guys they faced. Caleb Pearson off to a good start, and Christopher leads off the second for Forest City. Christopher batting .216 this season, no homers, 5 runs batted in. The wind and the first pitch from Parrish. Swing and a miss by Christopher, 0-1. If you missed it, here's the defensive alignment for the Blowfish. Right and left, Gerstner in center, Jenkins in right. Acevedo at third, Tepper at short, Corbett at second, Green at first. 0-1. Upstairs to Christopher, a ball and a strike. Kit Capel is the catcher, catching the balls and strikes from Parrish. For the Lexington County Blowfish, we'll tell you the Owls' defensive alignment on the other side of things if you missed it. 1-1. Ground ball right side, this will bounce foul. Off Christopher's bat, 1-2.
And Justin Parrish, a guy that you don't typically see in ball games too long, as we were told earlier, threw 34 pitches in that first inning, so I have to think he may be on a short leash here.
Strike 3 called on Garrett Christopher as a breaking pitch from Parrish locks him up. Strikeout number 2 for Parrish, 1 down in the second inning for Forest City. And we're back to the top of the order already for the Owls because they sent 8 to the plate in the first. They lead it 3-0. But it's Elwood now at the plate. A single for him back up the middle on the first pitch he saw in the first. The wind and the delivery from Parrish. Elwood lines this one toward left center field. This will drop in for a hit and roll toward the wall. Elwood a big turnaround first. He's headed for second. Throw toward second base will be well late, and Todd Elwood has himself a 2-bagger with 1 out in the second inning. Todd Elwood a 1-out double, and the Owls have another base runner in scoring position for Kendall McGowan.
You know, Mitch, I don't think people really appreciate that on a day where you don't take BP, how hard it is to kind of get adjusted on the first few pitches you see. That is 2 pitches that Todd Elwood has faced in this game. First one for a single, second one for a double.
This is a guy that yesterday had a 12-game hit streak broken up. Yesterday started in the leadoff spot. Pitch to McGowan is fouled straight back. Elwood's a guy that has gotten the majority of his playing time this season as the number 6 hitter for Matt Reed. As Blake mentioned earlier, this is his 5th start tonight in the leadoff spot in front of McGowan. You got to like that combination with Todd Elwood's speed out there and McGowan at the plate, who's batting second as usual for the Owls. He takes a check swing, low and away, but he takes it for a ball. There will be an appeal out to second base, but Jordan Wilson says no. McGowan now even in the count, 1-1. We'll see if Elwood steals third here. It's a lot more difficult than stealing second, of course, but this is a guy that is great at stealing bases, 23 for 24 this season. McGowan a double his first time up. Also scored one of those first inning runs. He takes one low. 2 balls, 1 strike now. There is somebody up, at least loosening in the Lexington County bullpen. Expect them to go to that bullpen very early on tonight as Parrish continues to try to find his rhythm. Checks the runner at second, does Parrish. He comes home. Pitches just on the inside corner, 2-2 on Kendall McGowan. Lexington County pretty much in a position where they'll need to win the second half in order to make the playoffs. Right now they're 10 games below 500. Overall at 14-24. The Owls coming into the night over 500 in the overall statistical category. Swing and a miss by Kendall McGowan. He strikes out. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Parrish. And it'll bring up Garrett Blaylock, who had a walk back in the first inning. Still with a runner on second base for the Owls. Trailing, should say leading in this one, 3-0 over Lexington County. With Blaylock stepping in there. Scored in the first when Jake Lyle drove him in with a single. Up at the plate. A chance to give the Owls a 4-0 lead if he can get a ball down for a hit. And he hits one high in the air toward right field. Forget about this one. Don't mess around with a single, Garrett Blaylock. You just hit a 2-run home run, and it gives the Owls a 5-0 lead in the second inning. An absolute rocket from Garrett Blaylock, his 10th home run of the season, and it's 5-0 Forest City, Blake.
Well, what were we saying earlier? This ballpark lends itself to a strong lefty hitter. And there you go. Garrett Blaylock hits that halfway up the tree line over the scoreboard here in right field. And the Owls, they came to bat tonight. 5 hits and 5 runs here with 2 outs in the second inning.
A 5-run cushion early on for Forest City with Drew Donathan stepping up to the plate. Donathan had a sac fly back in the first. Base is empty now with 2 outs, but the Owls up by 5 runs. Pitch to Donathan. A strike is called. You talk about a ball that had absolutely no question, Blake. Just crushed by Garrett Blaylock out toward right field. A 2 spot in the second for the Owls. Pitch to Donathan. Check swing, taken high, a ball and a strike.
You know, they have a blank spot on that scoreboard that's not being used. I really wish you could see, you know, like maybe exit velo on that one. That would have been a nice one to judge how hard it went off the bat. That was a no-doubter from Garrett Blaylock.
Swing and a miss by Donathan, a ball and 2 strikes. Scored Todd Elwood as the first run of the ball game in the first inning. So 2 runs scored already for Garrett Blaylock. And Kendall McGowan has company atop the home run column this season. Chopped foul at the plate by Donathan. And it comes from one of his teammates. McGowan coming into the night, by the way, tied for the league lead in home runs with 11 this season. He's tied with Chris Crabtree of Holly Springs. Each of those 2 players has 11. But Kendall McGowan and Crabtree have company, and Garrett Blaylock, who's right on both of their heels, now just 1 homer back as Blaylock reaches double digits tonight. 1-2 from Parrish. Swing and a miss. Donathan swings and strikes out, and the Owls' second inning has come to a close. Forest City does put up 2 runs on the 2-run homer by Garrett Blaylock. 2 runs on 2 hits for Forest City. No errors by the Blowfish, and the Owls don't strand anybody on base. Through an inning and a half here from the Lex. To the bottom of the second we go. 5-0 Owls now on the Forest City Owls Baseball Network.